Alright guys, we're actually kicking off already. I'm surprised. We're actually precisely on time. In fact, we're a little early, would you believe it? And the first game is already starting. WFC against TH on Echo Isles, which will be our first map. TH starting to the left of this classic map. WFC, of course, on the right side, respectively. And first question one has to ask is, of course, is he gonna be playing Mountain King first?
Well, I think so, especially on Echo Isles. You see the Mountain King very often, and I think he's going for the fast expansion right away. But we saw that WSC is able to pressure that expansion very, very well, and maybe he learned a bit from yesterday and might add a catapult or something to it, or play with a Naga. So, yeah.
And Chat is asking if he picked random, and TH that is, of course. No, he did not pick random. He picked human, his main race. He's trying to get through this round. And we're having some mouse issues, actually. We might be swapping that later if it continues. But yeah, we're inside the game. Everything's working pretty damn fine. And looking over at WFC's base, he's of course doing the TED build order, which is pretty much what he's been doing all the time. Also against orcs. And how he was playing well against orcs, I can tell you.
Oh, TH is going for the Archmage.
That may even be a bit of a surprise already. Yeah, the Archmage first, of course, the classic old school human hero. I was thinking Mountain King as well, but he wants to rely on what's been proven to be good a long time ago and still is viable, of course. And as the early game progresses, it looks like TH is gonna be creeping the mercenary camp right away and probably gonna be reinforcing from that throughout the game after trying to take his expansion. At least that's what we certainly expect, and I'm sure that's what WFZ expects as well, as he's heading over right there with the Archmage, with the Death Knight, excuse me, at this very second. TH, however, first creeping that little Kreen camp, and this is really, really deliberate. He only adds one militia to this army, to this creep, I should rather say. And you know, it's a little bit of damage output, but TH, he thinks of all these little things.
Yeah, and he's just evading the DK now, because he's going for the expansion right away to kill off more and more militia, but there are none. So WFZ is just walking into nothing, apparently.
Yesterday against Infi, we saw WFZ had the perfect timing. He crept a little bit, just a tiny bit, with his DK before starting to harass, because he thought if he goes over there right away, there's not much he can accomplish. But at this creep spot right here in the mercenary camp, normally you have a good chance of stealing one or even two creeps, because it's so many of them, it's kind of hard to make sure you get everyone as a human player. But as of now, he's just letting TH do his thing, not harassing him at all, rather creeping the little Murlocs. Oh, it was a Tome of Experience. Definitely Tome of Experience. He's gonna be level 2 after that. I think that may have even been a bit of a gamble by him, and it definitely paid off with that level 2 now already.
Yeah, very lucky for WFZ here. Of course it was gambling. It could have gone horribly wrong, but this is awesome for the Chinese Undead player, probably the best Undead player in the world today. And now TH is going for the expansion, but no new militia, but just peasants, and here comes WFZ.
I'm surprised he didn't call new militia. Hog yesterday, for example, did this a lot, sent the peasants back to his base and called new militia. But TH right here, we can see only peasants, so the damage output isn't that significant, and he will receive a lot of damage from this creep camp in return. The DK gets that trapper, and maybe even the one elemental tries to go for it, does not, however, get the last hit, and now he has to be careful a little, because he's taking quite a bit of damage on himself. By the way, a parried off fatality on the Archmage, so focusing him is probably not going to be a good option, as he's pretty damn tanky, even though he's still level 2, excuse me.
Yeah, but very nice of WFZ to kite out the Ogre Maggie, so TH has to wait a little time to kill him, and now he will be able to set up the expansion. And of course WSD now creeping the marketplace here. The tag is almost done to tier 2. Very fast tag once again. And now he's coiling the creeps to be a little faster. He wants a level 3 and then push the expansion once again.
By the way, he's at 26 out of 30 supply, so I think he should be suiciding his one acolyte that's just doing nothing in his main base so he can get his lich as quickly as possible. Not choosing to do it, however, well, he does have the 40 supply ziggurat right now, so he can continue production. And this creep spot is taking some time, and he's certainly taking quite a bit of damage. He only has that one Rod of Necromancy that has been used up already. He didn't reinforce with a new one, and he used all his mana, but he got a big mana potion in return, and at level 3, that's a fantastic item.
Absolutely, probably the best item he could have found there. Immediate tech to tier 3 and the Lich, of course. No Slaughterhouse just yet. And here comes TH going for the Acolyte, but the Ghoul's reacting immediately and trapping the Water Metal so it cannot reach the Acolyte, but the DK is in trouble. Thank God he's on tier 2, so he can buy potions, but he didn't just yet.
Yeah, it's just one Water Elemental and one Archmage, and he has the Aura, of course, and he's on Blight, so he's regenerating quite quickly. This is what we saw from WC yesterday also. He does not want to play what TED kind of invented, I would say. Staying on tier 2, getting a Slaughterhouse, getting one statue maybe only, maybe two, and then going to 60 or even 70 supplies. Staying on tier 2, adding, what do you call them, the meat wagons to the army, but especially on Echo Isles it's really difficult. By the way, Slaughterhouse has been cancelled right here. On Echo Isles it's really difficult because there is no Goblin Laboratory here to get a Zeppelin from to save your Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, the Archmage had to portal away, portal to his mercenaries, and he was able to creep the natural expansion of WFZ. Once again, he gets the item, but here comes WFZ again. He can't coil over the Archmage, but he decides to go for the Shadow Priest. So
nice deny. Yeah. There was a deny onto the Shadow Priest. And DK still not level 3 yet. I guess he wants to wait with his, hopefully for him, fatal push until he reaches tier 3 with the orb, with the destroyers, perhaps even with a third hero. And TH actually has all the freedom in the world right now. He needs to prepare for what's coming in about, I would say, 3 to 4 minutes. Probably with a lot of towers, maybe with harassment, but the lack of a Zeppelin on this map is also kind of bad for him, because humans like to drop a lot into the main base of the Undead to keep him distracted. Not gonna be as easy as possible here, but now WC is losing his Slaughterhouse again, and this fucks up his timing big time.
Definitely a huge timing by TH, killing the Slaughterhouse twice, so there's no Obsidian statues now, no healing for the Undead, no mana regeneration for the Undead, and of course the Destroyer push that TFZ probably wanted to do to the expansion is completely out of time now.
Now maybe he will want to switch things up, or I guess he's gonna stick.
Okay, it's just the static noise.
Should be alright. Every now and then, I'm sorry, the microphone, or rather the headset we're using, is not actually the best, so when I'm holding it and I'm touching the cable, well, I have to do that, and every now and then it, like, just right there, it scratches like crazy. We're sorry about that, but I'm gonna try to not let it happen too often.
TH is going for the Slaughterhouse again, and he will be able to kill it once again. Oh, staff cancelled right here. Oh, the Archmage died! Where did that happen?
That's why the staff was cancelled. The Slaughterhouse is in fact finished, but it was still killed. Oh man, WFZ has no chance of doing the Destroyer push you were mentioning before. This has absolutely been halted, but the Archmage has died. Now again the Slaughterhouse, but the deadly push that he's been looking forward to has been delayed by so much. I don't know if he should still try to go for it. Footman also basically being sacrificed for nothing back here, so this is a lot of experience going the Undead's way, but of course his Slaughterhouse has been cancelled significantly, by a significant margin.
Yeah, but he didn't lose the Acolyte. Huge experience on the Lich, pretty good amount of XP on the DK. He can work with that, but still the expansion is up and running. More and more towers coming here from TH. He reached level 2. He's going for tier 3 immediately. No Arcane Sanctum, but no Blacksmith yet. Okay, there's the Blacksmith. So what do you think he does? Maybe Gyrocopters again?
Yeah, it depends on how threatened he feels. If he feels he has time. Oh, that wasn't as expanding Acolyte. It was supposed to be. So WFC actually does want to switch things up compared to yesterday against Infi. So far I was thinking it's pretty much the same game, at least strategy-wise. How it played out exactly was a bit different with the Slaughterhouse cancelling and everything. But yeah, right there he tried to expand. A second Slaughterhouse, by the way, now on its way up. Maybe that way he will want to try to catch up on the production of statues. DK scouting this creep spot, and we've seen this before. Lich and Fiends pressuring the expansion or the main base last night in comparison. And the DK is trying to annoy, trying to protect his base also, probably with 1 or 2 destroyers, which will be added soon. And a lot of mercenaries for TH. Those are actually not the best units to be besieging an Undead base, but I guess that's going to be his game plan here. Question is how much damage he's going to take at his expansion in the meanwhile.
Yeah, that's the question. I'd love to switch over there. Yeah, it is. Well, it's the same thing we saw yesterday. He does pressure the expansion, but he's not able to kill it, and this time he's not able to kill a lot of peasants. I think that was the first one dying over here. We have 2 slaughterhouses up now, and of course a huge obsidian statue production here, but TH is pressuring the DK once again. 2 berserkers, huge damage output here. The Mauler is very nice against the Fiends, and the Archmage is on a very decent level because there's no secondary yet. The Mountain King just joined the fray. He has to walk a long road to get there though.
Yeah, Destroyer upgrade will be finished kind of soon, but there's only 1 statue in the main base, well I guess there's gonna be 2 soon. But there are 2 berserkers against destroyers, and they're pretty damn good at it, at dealing with them. But there's also DK there to heal him up, so I believe, like yesterday, he should be able to hold this aggression from TH, but he loses his shop, so there's gonna be no more statues until that shop has been rebuilt. And the Archmage, I believe, staffing home. No, TPing actually. Oh, the Lich, he's in a terrible position, and he gets killed right away. And this is what I thought yesterday, that should be quite dangerous. Maybe he walked back too late with the Lich to get out of range of the bolt, but now he loses his second hero at level 2, also loses 1 Fiend afterwards, and has not dealt tremendous damage to the expansion. So far it's not looking good for the Undead at all.
Only 1 corpse here, only 1 peasant died, and we saw it yesterday he killed like 15 or 20 peasants of Infi, and he wasn't able to kill off the expansion with it, and now he only killed 1 peasant. How should that work out? The Archmage is just healing up a bit, doing nothing. He has a self-preservation. What is going on in his base? Griffin aviaries, 3 Griffin aviaries, and he's going for Hawks right now.
Those units should have been scouted right there with the skeleton, however. But yeah, once those 3 Griffin areas really start ramping up the production, it's gonna be really tough for WFC. So he's feeling pressured right here, right now, to deal a lot of damage. And of course, nice staff save onto the Ogre Mauler. Losing that Lich before having to bite back at the tavern, and losing that statue also, and having your slaughterhouse delayed for so much. This push could have and should have come a lot sooner. But TH did an amazing job of holding it off for a long time, and WFC, he's only on 47 supply, and he has no gold basically to increase his army size by much. And we just saw it a minute ago, TH has a lot of resources to work with. He just needs to buy time to get his production going, and then it's gonna be really hard for WFC.
Okay, finally the Lich is able to kill at least 3 more peasants here, but he used all his mana on novaing the peasants, so he can't go hero focus on the Archmage or the Mountain King.
And now the Mountain King is hunting for, or trying to intercept reinforcements from WFC. TH does not want to fight quite yet. He still has a very, well, good defensive position right here. The Fiends are shooting at the Town Hall, at the expansion right here, but it's honestly not taking that much damage. I mean, he has to repair, that costs quite a bit of money, but he has the expansion, he has money for that easily. Now the Archmage is actually staffing away, maybe to TP back or to add pressure of his own, and yeah, that looks doing. 1 Fiend here to defend, but that's of course not enough, and the DK is not even remotely close to help defend this. So I believe he has to TP this time for real, not like yesterday where he managed to pull off a miraculous defense. Well, there are 2 destroyers right now that can be morphed to help in this defense, and also 3 destroyers in fact. I think they've just been morphed. That 1 Fiend eats the bolt and is gonna die from it, but I do believe the flying units, the mighty ones that can dispel from the Undead, will be able to hold this, or at least they should, I believe. But still, this pressure at the expansion is not that threatening.
Nice usage of the cloud here, disabling the Nerubian Tower and the Black Citadel at the same time, and now the first Griffin is here. Huge damage output, of course, against ground units, not against the destroyers, because they are magic immune, but to everything else they are just a huge threat. Now WFC town portals.
probably very offensively, well, not that offensively actually, rather to the south of his base. He should have been able to get a little bit more out of this, I believe. Webs that Dragonhawk, so he kills it, and he's probably gonna get the Berserker with the coil as well. Yep, there it flies, and there it dies. Staff save would have been nice there, but I guess it wasn't cooldown. But yeah, TH did a great job of just buying time for himself, and I believe he should be heading up to 70 or maybe even 80 supply by now.
Yeah, he's going for 53, at least WFZ is going into upkeep now. And here comes the Paladin, of course, the third hero that can heal units a lot, and the upgrade for the Griffins comes also. So the Mountain King still not level 3, so he's not that big of a threat right now. Of course, the stun is annoying and stuff, but the Stormbolt gets really, really big at level 3, and now WFZ is trying to kill off that expansion again.
Alright, here come all the destroyers. The destroyer push we've been talking about all game, and TH was really greedy. He just now started producing. He had almost 2,000 gold. This may be the window of opportunity the Undead has been looking for all game. TH may have been feeling too safe, thought he did a lot of damage and should not be fearing too much, but look at this, no destroyers have died yet and killed 2 towers in return. Look at all those peasants. One Nova will probably finish all of them off, basically. But I guess the Lich has no mana. Another tower dies. Still 4 destroyers alive. 1 has fallen, I believe. Now 1 more tower will fall. And as you said, the MK, which will be joining the party soon, is not that big of a threat right now. Level 4 for the Lich, I do believe. And all the peasants have died. And also all the towers. But TH is responding with counter pressure. Has he been too greedy?
I don't think so. He could do a bit of damage. Now, instant town portal. The expansion still stands, but all the peasants are dead, so the gold mining is just delayed a bit.
It's delayed by quite a bit, however. I mean, look at the destroyers. They were left there. Very well done. And they're gonna try to pick off the militia right now. They're still in militia form, of course, so they take a lot of damage from magic damage because of their armor type, and that's what's happening right now. I love this move by WFC. Nice deny, by the way, on the Fiend with Dark Ritual. And he can defend his base without these destroyers. However, venturing into open territory is probably not the best idea, but he's just being a little bit passive right here, and his flying units are taking care of the economy. I love it.
Okay, the expansion of TH is almost destroyed. No chance to get some peasants there. Okay, now the Archmage is saving the expansion. We see the Paladin on the field now. 3 Griffins. TH, of course, is able to produce a lot of units now, and WFZ is stuck at 54 supply. Now the Ziggurat is finished, but he needs another one to get over 60 food.
Could you show me what level the DK is? Because level 5 would be a big deal. He's not there quite yet, and he's staying out of experience range to give his Lich all of it, which I find very surprising. I guess he values the level 3 Nova very highly. Interesting, very interesting to see. We have quite a bit of Griffins right now, by the way, so that's a lot of magic damage onto the ground units, as you said before, and he's trying to get to his level 5-5 right now, I believe, and he's on a pretty good path. The DK is in danger of being bolt surrounded, maybe.
Oh yeah, it's not looking good here. You see the damage output of the Hawks, but no more Stormbolt. The DK is way too fast for the Mountain King to run after him.
But he needs to be really careful. I don't believe that he's skilled Death Pact, so he needs to be far, far back.
WFC is still in desperate needs of another Ziggurat, but he's not building one.
I believe he's gonna get a TP and perhaps a heal show at the shop. Well, firstly, he continues creeping. He wants that level 5 Lich real bad, and he's another Tome of Experience. Oh. Excellent. Who's it gonna take it on the Lich, and that's his level 5.
I think he's immediately going for the Peasant line once again, because he has a huge area of effect spell now with a Nova on level 3.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. By the way, also now level 3 for the MK. Also a very important step towards becoming a dangerous part of the army. We have an invulnerability and a TP on the Death Knight. Question is Infi now finally gonna be defending with all his army? Is he gonna be... TH, excuse me. There we see the Nova, and everything's taken a lot of damage out of the repairing peasants. Another coil to heal up the destroyer. They're of course not as strong because not level 5 DK yet,
nice,
but all the peasants have died again. Question is he gonna TP with the destroyers or without them?
Yeah.
We're gonna see it in a second, because pressure is coming towards his main. And with all those Griffins, he cannot afford to stay away for too much longer, because they did a lot of damage, and they exchange TPs once again.
Oh yeah, very offensive town portal, forcing TH to use his town portal again. Just a little damage done to the Black Citadel here. Huge damage deal to the expansion once again. The shop is still standing, but no towers anymore. No peasants working. Of course, here comes the militia to gather some more gold. What's with the natural gold mines? Just 2,000 gold left. Of course, TH can creep so easy now with this huge amount of griffins, but they can't do damage to the destroyers, and I think they are the biggest threat to the human race right now.
That is true, the destroyers are very dangerous, but the thing is, even if they're good, when there's no more heroes left for the Undead, they're also not enough to win the game. The thing is, I believe WFC wants to expand kind of soon, maybe after his main runs out, maybe before. But with all those flying units that are actually pretty fast for the human, it's really easy to scout it and to cancel it. So he's now heading to the expansion, and he is maybe looking for the first all-out engagement of this fight. And here we go, we see a lot of web, we see a lot of Novas. First destroyer dies, so does a Fiend. Well, actually gets denied by a Dark Ritual, but the human army seems very, very threatening, and the statue just takes 1,000,000 damage from the Griffins. Now gets morphed into a destroyer. Also level 3 Paladin already. Great solo creeping by TH, and look at all these Griffins. I don't know if WCA will have an answer for this. I'm not sure. Look at the entire giant human air army. It's just too dominating. He has no chance but to retreat. The expansion seems to be safe. Now onto the Lich we go. He drops in hit points, gets caught. Also has an invulnerability if he wants to use it. But he's just forced to run away and gather his belongings.
Only 43 food left for WFZ, 77 for TH. The heroes are looking strong. Level 3 Paladin, level 3 Mountain King, level 5 Archmage with a good inventory. He was able to get 1 Scroll of Healing, 2 Scroll of Healing actually. So huge shop control by TH here, but WFZ wants to pressure up again.
And of course those scrolls they are key against the Nova. Right there we saw the first Nova counter scroll not yet used. By the way, I think it was a nice bolt dodge right there. The Lich used his invulnerability potion, and that level 3 Paladin is so key in these fights. Level 2 Holy Light just 1,000,000 times better, well actually twice as good as a level
again.
As a
Stormbolt again. Where's the coil? There's no coil, but there's Holy Light! GG by WFZ. TH takes the first map. What a hero duke this was!
WFZ did a great job at dealing as much damage to the expansion as he could. TH, I think, was too greedy, felt too safe, and almost paid for it dearly, but it turned out he was just right in time by the skin of his teeth. At some point he just overpowered his opponent in production, and when there's like, I don't know, what was it, 8 Dragonhawks and 9 Griffins on the field, it's just too much damage to deal with. You need like 20 Gargoyles or something to be able to destroy that. But of course tech switching like that is not possible at this stage in the game, especially without an expansion. He tried to go for it, but TH was on top of his scouting, was there right at the second that the Acolyte tried to go for it. And after that WC didn't try again. It's very, very hard for Undead to pull that off. And yeah, TH takes the first map, and next we're gonna see Amazonia, which he played amazingly on, really incredibly on, against Infi yesterday.
But I think the problem of WSC is that he has no second plan. He tries to cancel the expansion with the Lich and the Fiends and stuff, but he's not going for catapults, and if that plan fails and he's not able to take the expansion, the late game's definitely belonging to the human, and he can't do shit against lots of gyrocopters without a panda, and he can't do shit against lots of griffins without maybe panda or an alchemist or something else.
Yeah, mass Griffin is always tough to deal with as Undead. Some people try to go for a lot of Fiends and Banshees with anti-magic shell, but that has not seemed to work perfectly ever. So yeah, I guess the key is to not let the human get to AD supply air army, or maybe do something creative with a lot of gargoyles. But of course flying machines are very good against gargoyles because of their splash damage, and gargoyles always clump up when they start attacking. So I believe WFC is going to stick with the strategy of trying to interfere with the expansion, do as much damage as he can, and defend simultaneously. We'll see.